Vote yes for FCHS. Not a tax rate increase. The needs are real. Our kids deserve a solution. Freeburg Community High School is a school to be proud of. With graduates from as far back as the early 1900s, it has a rich history of pride and excellence. Pride in its academic accomplishments, pride in its teachers and administrators, pride in its building and grounds, and most of all, pride in its students. Freeburg Community High School draws students from Freeburg, Smithton, Fayetteville, St. Libory, the Millstadt-Paderborn area, and even a few from the Mascoutah area. Our sense of pride is far-reaching. That sense of pride is deep-rooted in all the communities it serves.
Hi, I'm Ben Howes. I'm the principal here at Freeburg High School. I just walked through a doorway that 7 times a day we have approximately 650 students go in and out that doorway, and it creates quite a bottleneck in our hallway. We also have issues with the front of the building. When a guest comes into Freeburg High School, they walk into an open hallway, and if they're going to the office, they really don't know where the office is. And many times we'll have guests wandering around the school looking for the front office. We'd like to relocate the offices so that when people walk in, we're right there to greet them. Especially, it's a safety hazard. Additionally, I'd like to talk a little bit about the athletic facilities. A lot of people think that this is just for the sports teams. The sports teams are actually going to use this a very small percentage of the time. The main thing is for our physical education classes to be able to utilize the track and field. All 650 kids will benefit from that as well. So the two things I guess that I feel are most important. Number one is the safety issue for the kids. I don't know how anyone can argue with that. In this day and age, safety is of the utmost importance. And secondly is the use of the fields for our physical education kids. I think that's important also with childhood obesity like it is.
My name is Jim Jacobs. I served on the high school board here in Freeburg from 1975 through 2001, a total of 26 years. But one of the things that has attracted me here is the pride that the community has, and especially the communities that make up Freeburg High School District. During that period of time, we had 3 construction projects that we actually asked the taxpayers to fund. One was the covering of the ramp that connected the 2 buildings following the tornado back in the late 60s. The second project that we had was the cafeteria and the classrooms to the immediate south of the cafeteria. And the third project was the what I always referred to as the deep south, which was the classrooms on the extreme south end of the complex. I think also the fact that we never considered building a new facility, just using the existing facility here, and by putting the additions on, over the years we were able to purchase surrounding property and planning for that at some point down the road. To ask taxpayers for a bond without a tax increase is certainly something that I never had the privilege of doing. Each time that we asked the taxpayers to support a bond referendum, there was certainly a tax increase that was involved. In this situation, however, that is not the case. The bonds that are coming due to be paid off from those projects will be retired, and the money that will be used from this bond referendum would not increase the tax referendum.
Now it is time to continue that rich tradition of pride. Yes for FCHS. To give the students of our communities and the students of Freeburg High School something to be proud of.
Hi, we are Freeburg students at FCHS.
I am Kimden Weber in Freeburg Athletics.
I'm Heather, the student member of the Board of Education, and we are among the many students at FCHS hoping that the referendum gets passed.
Students here know that a lot of our activities and planned events have been canceled due to the poor conditions of our outside facilities.
We don't really even have the facility to have a home track meet here at our high school.
Because of the poor conditions outside during rough weather, we have to cancel a lot of football and soccer games, and we haven't been able to have a home track meet since who knows when.
And it's not just athletics either. It's the marching band, PE, who also have trouble dealing with the facilities sometimes.
Students are limited to perfect conditions outside in order to have their practices.
The referendum, I feel, would draw more attention to our events here at FCHS. I feel like we'd have a lot of more supporters because the bleachers for softball and baseball are so old that it's almost even dangerous. As for the new hallway,
I personally have received many tardies on my way to class because there's so much traffic and the hallways are so crowded that students literally inch along as they try to make it to class.
you shouldn't really have to deal with physical contact getting to class. It's kind of almost a push and shove matter sometimes when it gets so crowded.
The referendum also includes a new office which would overlook the main entrance of the school.
And although everything can't be 100% safe, I feel like the new office would really make us feel safer here, knowing that people can't just walk in and out as they please. We really hope the referendum gets passed.
We are not asking for an all-new FCHS, especially not in these economic times. Instead, we are just trying to improve our current facilities. We are doing it so that taxpayers, like you, are not burdened with larger tax bills. It's kind of like when you decide to make improvements on your own home or to your own yards without building a new home.
My name is David Renner. I graduated from Freeburg High School in 1976. I have a son that goes to Freeburg now, and he is on the track team. Before he got into high school, I didn't realize they didn't use the track anymore because it's so obsolete. It's too small to hold meets. It's got some dangerous areas with curbing. When track season's in progress, it's during the rainy spring, and usually the track's halfway underwater, and it forces them to run out on the street. Well, Freeburg's always had excellent track program. They've had many runners go to state. With this track now, it's not usable. We do need a all-weather track out here. If we could get your vote in November to vote for the Freeburg referendum, we could have an 8-lane track out here, a beautiful complex. These kids are our future and they deserve it.
Hi, I'm Sandy Bush. I graduated from Freeburg High School a few decades ago as Sandy Coons. My husband Charlie also graduated around the same time, and so did our moms a few years before that, both our mothers. We're proud to be Freeburg Midgets, we always will be, and we're happy to say that our children also will be attending and are attending Freeburg High School. Our daughters participate in track, cross country, and basketball. And our only disappointment we've found so far at Freeburg is that the substandard quality of the athletic facility that is here. 2 decades ago, I played softball on this very field, and in 2 decades, not much has changed. We came to watch a spring softball game this past season, and I sat in the same stands where my parents sat and watched me play. The balls kept coming over from the baseball field also, always being aware for heads up. Safety factor is one of the important reasons why Freeburg needs a new complex. Some minor changes that I've noticed when we watched the game were the single bench that we sat on as players has changed to now a covered dugout, a little more safe, but as you can see, there's still areas where balls can get in and hurt players. Also, the fencing has been added, and during the season, a snow fence is put up to keep the ball from rolling further into the other field. Freeburg High School is not asking for a complex to be upgraded due to the fact for all the athletes. They're doing it for all the students as well. As a PE teacher in another district, I would truly appreciate a facility that is up to date in order to take PE classes out to achieve our goal of lifetime health. An upgraded facility would not only enhance Freeburg High School, it would enhance the community. The young and old would be walking the track or jogging the track, as you see in other communities that have an upgraded facility.
Hi, my name is Gary Henning. I'm a resident, or have been a resident, in Freeburg for over 40 years. I'm now retired. I am here to talk to you about pride primarily in baseball accomplishments at FCHS and pride in track accomplishments at FCHS. First of all, let me say I am extremely proud. My family, my church, our schools in District 77, our administrators, teachers, parents, citizens, and all of the communities. If you start with the field, with what's wrong with the field, first of all, let me say that if you look at the field, you'll notice how it's rough. It's very unlevel. Secondly, if you look at all the fencing around the field, it is rusty. Some of it is broken down, from the outfield fences to the fences surrounding the spectators in the actual infield. And finally, if you look at the bleachers, along with no place except a porta-john to use a restroom and a small, very small, again, storage shed that's used to store all kinds of things, from tractor to all the softball gears, all types of gears. Not room for a restroom, and definitely not room for a concession stand or the amount of storage we need with all the equipment we now have. We can all be proud of our track teams, boys and girls, in the fact that they won 2 state championships. The girls in 2003 and 4, the boys finished 4th, and also we have a 5th, another 4th, and a 7th place finishes. The major problems we have with the track is water. The running surface cannot hold water. When it rains, it pours. It'll stay on the track. Most of the track, corners of the track are underwater for days at a time. When it does dry, anyone that has walked or jogged on the track when it was damp or wet leaves deep footprints, and when the clay dries, it stays very, very hard, just like concrete. And it's very difficult to run on this because it can cause the athletes easily to turn ankles, to bruise feet, and again, to stumble, fall.
Hi, my name's Chris Shennewerk. I'm a family practitioner in Smithen, which is in the Freeburg School District for the high school. I would love to do anything possible to improve the high school, in which this new project for the stadium as well as for security is imperative. I ran track and participated 1 year in football when I was in high school, and it's a shame that we have such a wonderful football, soccer, and especially track program, and we have facilities that are horrible. Our security system for our kids is again horrible at this time, and given the current status of problems that we have throughout the United States with security in high schools, this is a very important part of this project too. So because of all these factors, again, improvement to our facility, both for sports as well as security, as well as not having to put a burden on the taxpayers, this project is well overdue and is important to get this passed in November.
On November 2nd, you can vote yes for FCHS. You can take that pride to a higher level. You can be sure our students are safe and secure inside these hallowed walls. You can provide the athletic facilities that athletes, students, and citizens will proudly call their own. You can vote yes and not see a tax rate hike. This is truly a win-win situation.